How we doing, folks? How are we doing tonight? Come on in, come on in, come on in. You're going to enjoy this one. Oh, man, I had to reach back and call in a favor tonight, man. I had to call in a favor. I had to say, listen, man, I know my tenor in the MC culture don't go that far back. Now, I've been riding to the moon and back. But when it come down to this podcast, when it come down to these magazines, when it come down to these overhead, these clubs, these radio talk shows, hey, listen, my next two guests, man, I had to reach out to them and bring them in. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring them in, man. How y'all doing tonight, gentlemen?
Yo, what's good, bro? What's good?
Oh, man, I got an all-star cast tonight. I mean, an all-star cast. If I would, please, OG Weasel, would you please introduce yourself tonight?
Hey, I think you just said it all right there, OG Weasel, up north, up in Jersey, and everywhere else you need me to be. So that's probably the best I can say about that.
Oh, man, I love it. What part of Jersey you in?
I'll just say Central, man, because the stalker situation is real bad. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm mid-Jersey, bro.
Mid-Jersey.
Yeah.
One of my cats out of my hog chapter, Smitty, man. Smitty, shout out to you if you're watching tonight. He's from Jersey, man. He loved Brick City, man. That's all he say. Brick City. I love Jersey, man. I love Jersey. And then my bro out of Kings of Cali. He's out of LA. He's from Jersey, man. So he's always shouting up Jersey. Shout out to him, man. No doubt. But listen, I gotta bring this other guy in, man. DJ FX, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. I hope you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
Man, you sound good. We got you.
Sound good.
Awesome. Okay.
Awesome.
I had to bring out the little wireless mic.
Hey, man, we're gonna make it happen. No matter what, we're gonna make it happen.
I'm DJ FX. Most of y'all already know me. MC Love, DJ FX, spinning, music, just your everyday guy who loves to give back to the community, to the MC culture.
Yes, indeed. And man, don't make it seem so light, man. You're a heavyweight in this game, man. You're heavyweight when you can dig into the vault and pull out some old content from 10, 15 years ago that's still relevant, man.
Nothing like it, huh?
Nothing like it. Nothing like
absolutely.
Hey, man, what's going on? Eli Stuff, Big Daniel, aka Big E, my brother. How you doing tonight, sir? I don't know where you at in the world on them 18 wheels, man, but I'm hoping you're safe and not up there in that snow out there in Wyoming, man. Swole guy, how you doing, man? Glad you could come on tonight. Check your inbox.
Hey, speaking of the vault, I got him on in the vault tomorrow. Got Swole on the vault tomorrow.
Oh man, Swole, man, you need to check your inbox, man. We need to get you in this lineup, man, because I got an all-star cast tonight. I'm honored, man. I'm honored. Fernando, how you doing? Yes, sir. Oh man, I bet Fernando can tell about some old school magazines, some old school publication. I would love to get you on, Fernando, and let's chop it up, man. Let's share some of this history, some of this knowledge with this new generation coming on. But listen, gentlemen, tonight, what I want to do is I want to take this time. Typically, what I like to do on my Tuesday night episodes is I like to highlight my legacy riders, my rider that's been in the game for 40, 50 years, to try to capture their legacy, to try to capture their experiences when they were coming up during a different time. And OG, I know you've been in it for a while, living the lifestyle, bike life.
Every day,
you are the creator of that bike life.
Oh man.
Yeah. And DJ FX, you've been in it for a minute too, sir. Like I say, man, when you can go into the vault, that says something, man. I'm hoping that someday I can get to that level of being able to go back in 20, 30, 40 episodes and pull something back to kind of share the words with the next generation of rider. Because I say it like this, man, every month there's somebody joining a club, a prospect, and that's going to be 90, 100, 180, 360 days before they patch over. So they're learning, they're in the learning stage, but then they're going to enter the set. They're going to be new to it. And so the thing is, man, as long as we can drop nuggets on them to kind of sit there and say, hey, look, don't forget the past. Here are the people that did it before us. They can sit there and carry the culture on and still have that same effect. Do you gentlemen agree?
Agreed.
Let me
Totally
tell you,
agree.
Solo. My personal mindset has been, doing all these shows over the years and working with brothers and working with clubs. It wasn't about me. It was always about passing on the culture to the next generation. I just had a conversation with a brother, like, who's the next OGs out there? And it's weird because, I'm looking at the set and you see some aspiring brothers, but it's like, you know what? You got to keep passing on what we learned many moons ago. And kind of like, what I'm saying, you just basically feeding that next generation. And it's just a constant pound, giving them what we've been through and then kind of inspiring them in my own ways. And brothers like yourself, they see you riding, then they aspire to ride. And then, you got them in the protocol group. So it's interesting to see, how this next set of brothers are coming up for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Big E's out there in Fayetteville. I got Fernando out there in Tennessee. Man, I love it when I see these guys coming. I got Paul from Virginia on. Thank you, Paul, for watching. Congratulations on that house sale too, man. You getting it in as that new realtor. Definitely should be seeing you hitting that $1 million club, man. Yep. So DJ FX, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me? What I want to talk about.
You.
What I want to talk about tonight, gentlemen, is preserving the culture. When I think of preserving the culture, I'm thinking about written literature. I'm thinking about old videos. I'm thinking about a time when people would paint bikes, people would get tattoos, and people could sit there and say, well, okay, did you get your copy of this? Did you sit down on the toilet and have all your magazines in the toilet? Because that was our throne back in the days, and just read articles about building bikes and tinkering on them and painting custom paint jobs. When you were doing your live broadcast, were you covering that?
I was covering more so people that got started in the set, like some of the old heads that's been, riding for 50, 60, 70 years almost.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more about learning the right way you should approach the set, as opposed to, coming out there, hey, illy nilly willy, and about to get your hair bashed in. Those were some of the things we talked about, but I made it more on the personal, positive side, because every biker have a story to tell. So in those stories, as you said, that's preserving the culture, because everybody has a different struggle in the MC community. Life can be lifing, but life also has a trail in the MC community. And it's basically about projecting the riders as more than just the MC. They're human beings, but they just happen to have a love for those two wheels. I just happen to have love for the two wheels, and the culture, that the camaraderie of fellowship, brotherhood, and sisterhood.
Okay.
Hey, let me touch on one thing real quick before it goes away.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at the comment from Leroy Hughes, bro.
Yeah, it's low key.
Low key. Oh, what's up, man?
That's low key out of Houston.
All right, what's up, bro? So you just hit it, man. Right there, the historian of the club, the secretary. We have a lot of clubs that have a lot of history, but it's not being documented. They're not keeping like those pictures. I look at I love to watch Hero post, because when Hero goes back at his Hero from Chosen Few, when he goes back into his old school albums and he pulls them out and he puts that one picture up that just hits home, and it's like, oh man, you could do nothing but reflect and imagine, how it was 20, 30, 40 years ago, for those who wasn't there. So my advice is that, if you're in a club, like, keep track of what y'all doing, like, take pride in your history and the legacy of those brothers. Because if it's a real thorough club, that club is going to be around 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. I look at, I was part of the club called the Newark Knights, and that's one of Jersey's oldest clubs, 50 years in the game. And you got some of the original brothers is there, and there's a lot of pictures there, a lot of stuff on the wall. And if you go upstairs in the file cabinet, there's a lot of old stuff, man. It kind of makes you reflect, so that's definitely something for y'all to take into account. So keep some history about your club, especially your personal history,
Right, right, right. Yes, man, you are absolutely right. And I'm glad you said that because I remember when I opened the clubhouse up in Seattle and we were putting pictures up on the wall, man. And some of the guys like, man, oh, who are those guys? Who are those guys? I'm like, it don't matter who they are, it's part of the culture. And one of those pictures, it happened to be that one that you mentioned with Hero Benson, man, where he was sitting there with his finger up. And Hero always sit there and say, man, I was just there with them. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he could foresee that image being so iconic as it is, and he'd be like, I was just with them. You know what I'm saying? So that's truly the legacy that I would love to capture, man. That I try to capture, and I think we're all doing a good job of it.
It's
Yeah,
it's a wonderful thing. I'm sorry, did I cut somebody off?
You good? You good?
It's a wonderful thing when we as podcasters on the MC set can reflect on what changes that we've seen and foresee and be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't have the writing experience like some of you guys have. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't going. There's no if, ands, buts about it. However, I can relate to it because I do ride.
Right.
Learning from the OGs, learning from podcasters who contribute to the motorcycle community is another way, as you said earlier, Solo, is another way of preserving history. People can look back on these videos, these podcasts, and look back and say, wow, I didn't know he went through that. I didn't know she went through that. I didn't know about that club. I didn't know anything, the history of that particular club and that set and what went on there. I didn't know that, XYZ, the bylaws, this, that, and the other. These shows that we do help bring light and clarity to some of these things that people don't know about. Whether they ride or not, it brings clarity.
Right. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I want to send a shout out. I got to send a shout out to my guy, Magic Will, Proverb. Hey, thank you for joining us tonight. Salute, sir. Mr. Walter Mosley, aka Chops. Thank you for joining us. Love you, Chops. Love you. My brother out there in Seattle, Twitch. Much love, bald head. Love you. All right, gentlemen. I got to give those shouts out, man. I do, man, because if without our viewers, there would be no Ride on the KSolo the podcast show, man. I have to do that.
It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But this picture right here that we were talking about, this is one of the most iconic pictures I think that a new rider will see coming onto the set. Would you agree, gentlemen?
Oh, that's classic. That's classic. From the Springer. Come on, bro. You got the Springer.
On, bro.
Like, everybody don't see the details. You got to really look at what you're looking at.
And
that is priceless, man.
It is priceless, man. It is priceless. Yeah, Breezy.
Yeah,
good evening, Breezy.
Man. It speaks a whole lot to the culture as African American men. It speaks a lot to the culture of, we're more than just Black men. We have a variety of backgrounds, come from a variety of backgrounds, and because of those two wheels, I can't say it enough, stress it enough. Those two wheels bring a brotherhood that is unmatched. It cannot be matched. I'm not going to a biblical thing because you can't match it to that, but it goes beyond the ordinary friendship. It goes beyond the ordinary. So it's right in between the two in my book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Once you got that bond, it's there. KSolo, prime example. You and I been trying to hook up for the longest. As on each other's shows and stuff. We met that one time. Brother for life.
Brother for life, man. You were there, Weasel.
Yeah.
Weasel. Same thing with Weasel. He's been on like 2-3 times.
What? Okay,
Anything to support the culture,
so
bro.
let's do this. Let's do this, gentlemen. I have to ask, man, if you would kind of identify the shows that you have been a part of, and what era. You know, name them if you can. If everything is good with that. Hey, Bree, how you doing?
Wow.
Well, go ahead, FX. I'll let you go ahead. Coach Solo, I'll share some with you on the
I
back end.
gotta
You may want
think.
Okay.
share that piece.
Well, I mean, I started out on internet radio station with a young lady. Her name is L Boogie. I
Mhm.
started out just announcing bike events on her show.
Okay.
And then towards the end of her show, when it was leaving, I just wanted to step up and start my own show. I already had a name for it a long time ago before it even came to fruition. I've been in one magazine. I can't remember the name of it. I was featured in one magazine. Wow. Wow, you really put me on the spot. Being a part of this historic show right here.
Right,
So
right. Oh man, we ain't there yet, man. I'm still small time, man. I'm still trying to
I'm
get up
speaking
there,
into
man.
existence, man. I'm speaking into existence. Don't
Hey,
don't
thank
knock.
you,
You
thank you.
told me
I'm
don't
not even
knock
gonna knock
yourself.
it.
Don't
Keep
knock
talking,
yourself.
keep talking, man. Keep talking. Who knows, man? Keep talking.
But
So,
yeah, I mean that's basically it for MC Love. I mean, I can't
so
think.
how
Like I said, I
how
can't
did
think of
you?
it.
So my question for you, Love, is, and I'm gonna get you, OG. Is what made you decide to want to go into podcasting, the protocol, the events? What made you sit down and say, well, I want to get behind the microphone and kind of share and inform others?
I was tired of the negative looks from people when they saw a biker
Mm-hmm.
being afraid, clutching their purse,
Mm-hmm.
cutting bikers off on the highways, purposely.
Mm-hmm.
I was just tired of it, and I wanted to bring. I just wanted to bring a positive light to the motorcycle community. I'm not saying there's no bad that's out there. Yes, it is, but I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to bring a more positive light to it. That's what made me get into MC Love.
Okay. 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 OG Weasel.
All right.
Who were your
Wow,
affiliations,
man.
and when did you get in, and what inspired you or made you want to get into it? Because you were on a couple of heavyweight platforms.
Yeah. First of all, just check the text. I sent you
I'm
something you
working it. Yes.
may want to share. Yeah, but
Yeah.
oh man, I first of all, let me say this, man. I was the type of brother. I wasn't giving you nothing. I wasn't giving you no knowledge. I was all about, get it the way I got it. That was my
Mm-hmm.
thing, and I lived that way for a long time. You want to, what's the protocol in this? Like I wasn't sharing nothing. Then I realized, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Everybody hasn't been privy to walk in the houses that I've been, the different diamond houses across the states, and having those relationships. And I finally realized that, you know what? Everybody needs a segue to get started. And I'm thinking back. I remember Sucking Free MC. I'll just go back a little bit with that. Okay.
Okay.
Preach had started out and he had a little side platform before the book came up. And he hit me up in the back and he was like, yo, bro, I heard about you. This is what I'm doing. And it took a long conversation with that bro. And
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, what are you trying to do? And I'm like, who are you and what is your purpose? Then when he broke it down, he said, you know what? I just want to educate the community. And I want people to know that the community is safe and that the community can flourish. And I really had to talk to that brother a few times to understand,
Mm-hmm.
where he was coming from when it came to that. And I said, you know what, man? I said, you get it. I said, I get it. I said, you know what? I'm not going to put my name on a lot of stuff. I'm going to ghostwrite. And I ghost wrote for that brother for a long time on the back end. Then he got up and got running. Then what happened? The community was looking for it. They wanted more and more. They wanted, they wanted to that diverse, that knowledge. So then you started to get into the,
Mm-hmm.
all the different shows. And I guess the big show that I was really on that was really straight up raw. And it's still out there. If you go to allridersradio.com, every show in the archive is out there. And you're talking about straight raw MC talk. That show was as raw as you can get. And you had representation from every diamond house. You had the guards on there. You had, you had TG. You had the guards. You had Wills. You had Hell's Lovers. You had representation from every diamond house. Then, so when you got the information, you were
Mm-hmm.
getting it raw. you know, and we ran that for a couple years. And what that was, you know, that was a good show, 2 hours every Wednesday. And it was very hard. You know how it is solo when you're doing a show to commit to something, you know, every week. And we was on it for years, 2 hours at a time. And I look back and I'm like, yo, what was the purpose? What was the purpose? Then now I see the purpose. When you look at brothers that were listening to the shows, and those are the presidents that's out there. Those are your new diamonds. So contrary to what you may think, all these shows, they have, you know, they have influence, and that the community is listening, and they just need that platform, you know, because the thing, there you go, Swell. Yeah. But they need some type of resource, because every time, you know, you can't just always walk to to a clubhouse and walk up on your old head, because just because a cat is old doesn't mean that he has knowledge. It just means sometimes that he's just old. He's been around, but what has he done in those 50 years? So you have to have some type of segue, you know, to get to this knowledge of something that's going to want to build you, and it motivates you to get out there, you know. And as I say, do what bikers do. That's one of my cliches. And you know, it's just over the years, I just went from one platform to the next. Then we moved it over to the MC Protocol groups, where we have MC Protocol 101, and we have MC Protocol in Tradition, and all this stuff is still on the book. You can go back there, you know, read a lot of my writings and a lot of references that we were putting out there. So stuff like that, for me, it was all about passing on the tradition the raw way. Because now what's happening, the set has changed. The whole culture has changed. We became very trendy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to really understand where this came from. And I think that as brothers, one brother at a time, you have to make a choice. Either I'm going to be a new school brother or kind of lean towards the old school. And, you know, I think it's nice to have both. Then at the same time, it's good to have that mix in a brother, that he can kind of flex between both and kind of understand you can't always be old school. You got to have some type of progression on what you do. So that's kind of like, you know, my interest has always been, you know, promoting the culture. And before I lay down, you know, lay my head to rest, I want to be able to say I contributed something, and I did a knowledge purge. So.
Right. Okay.
I like that.
And yes, man. Oh, come on, man. I told you, I have an all-star lineup. All-star. So all-star, so famous, man. Listen, sir, if you would, OG, kind of give us a little history behind this picture right here, man. Because this is another one of those iconic ones that's out there floating around, man.
That's when I had hair, man. We all looking like, and we all looking like in the club. It was crazy, man. What you're looking at right there, that's New Jersey's, one of New Jersey's fastest clubs, the Redliners, and they were known for straight up dropping the hammer. And if you notice in the middle there, you got, okay, so her brother Lance was, he was a Redliner as well until he had passed away. So when you see Latifah wearing that chain around her neck, the key, that's for her brother. But this was actually we were doing a video with Latifah up in Englishtown, New Jersey, and this is kind of, you know, one of the shots from that day. And it was a whole day with Little Kim and a lot of other stars that were out there. And the video was called Go Ahead. That's still on YouTube as well. So if you want to check that out, you can see Latifah doing the thing. And yes, she actually does ride. And that Busa, yeah, she's on the right bike. That's all I got to say. So,
okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, Nurse Tiffany, thank you for that right there. Nurse Tiffany said, good evening, gentlemen. I find this conversation refreshing. As a female rider, I have experienced OGs being stingy with knowledge. I feel this is part of the reason for the delusion of the culture. Yes. Sometimes they hold on to it like it's gold. They don't want to share. But, you know, I found it like this right here. I think the OGs will share their knowledge and experience with those that are seeking it. You see what I'm saying? It's not that they're protecting it. It's just that they get to a point that they feel as though they're preaching on deaf ears. And so why should I go and tell this person when I'm preaching on deaf ears? Because as soon as they do that full color patch, they take off and go they pick up from the now and go forward. Anything in the past, they don't think about it. So sometimes them OGs feel as though they're talking on deaf ears, and so they won't hold on to it. But those ones who go out looking for that knowledge, who go out asking, well, what about this? Well, tell me about a time like this. You guys remember those times, man, with, you know, prospects would go out and talk to somebody, man. They kind of want to learn, you know, what's going on with everything.
But you know what? Let me say this, okay? First of all, to Tiffany's point, you dead on. I'm not even going to lie. And I'll break it down even further. When we did the show back in All Riders Radio, if you was a female and asked me a question, I had nothing to say to you. I was not responding to females. And it took me a long time to acknowledge the female voice. And that was part of my personal growth to realize that, you know what? These females are part of the culture. You know, they're going to be part of the next generation of what's going on. And you look up nowadays, they ride it more than we do. Man. If you really want to be honest about it. Yeah. So it's kind of like, you know, it's just, this is part of the progression and the change that you can be old school, but you got to accept and realize that things are changing and that there's a lot of progression in the lifestyle as well.
Right. But yeah. And my hat off to Stephanie. I was supposed to have Stephanie on tonight to talk about her legacy and her contribution to the culture, but we want to send prayers to her father. Her father is not doing too well, and she's taking care of him right now. So definitely send a shout out to Stephanie. And the title of the episode is Still Carrying the Torch. So I sit there and say, magazine like Get Yonder for the past 5, 7, 8, 9 years have been carrying that torch of moving forward with the legacy of highlighting certain riders, founders like Mr. Nate, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we're still being documented. We're still being documented. Would you agree, gentlemen?
I agree. I mean, you look at all the magazines, especially the magazines, documenting, like you said, it's documented, it's stamped, it's in ink, and it has been distributed all over the country. Whoever wants it, it's there. It's available for them. And, you know, Weasel said something about how he, you know, didn't acknowledge female riders for a while. And we had talked about that on one of my shows too, that, you know, because of what the females are doing as of late, you know, it's something that's being ingrained into the minds, into history now. So, you know, are we equal? No, but it's still important that they are making their voice known, and we as men, you know, not like them, but we still make our voices known too. And we are ingrained in history as brothers, and I mean brothers. I don't care what color you are, brothers in this culture, this lifestyle. And this lifestyle can break you or make you.
It will, man. It will. And I want to send a shout out to Portia Taylor. She's another great contributor to the culture, man, from the West Coast. Black Girls Ride magazine, founded in 2011 by Portia Taylor. BGR is described as the first magazine to target women of color in the motorcycle world. It aims to highlight both professional racers and everyday riders from various backgrounds who share a passion for motorcycles. And the lady that's on this cover right here, Miss Showtime, is truly indeed a living legend. Would you gentlemen agree?
Absolutely.
Agree.
Man. God bless her for being that age, looking that good. It's still on it. It's incredible.
I know, man.
I know. People don't know. You can't tell by looking at it. You would never think. You would never think, man.
And listen, I had the opportunity to see her perform her Tina Turner routine in Vegas. I just happened to be out there at the same time at Mother Chapel. They were doing an event, a Black Girls Ride event. And she got up, man, and she performed, man, and you would swear it was Tina herself up there. She was moving and grooving, shaking and baking, man. I'm like, where did she get all that energy from, man?
Hey, but real quick, before we get away from the Get Yonder platform, I just want to speak to that. Okay, what we have to realize, okay, is that the set and the culture in general is wrapped around a lot of trends, you know, and these trends influence. Sometimes it's a positive influence, or sometimes, you know, it can be detrimental to what we're trying to achieve as bikers. But I will say that Get Yonder started something that wasn't out there yet. You know, Stephanie, she
Get
did.
Yonder, that title, Get Yonder. It became almost a damn cult following, bro. Right now, everybody would sit there and say, I'm going to Get Yonder, man. Get Yonder, man.
Man, when I went in my pocket to put $20 on a shirt, because I don't be supporting nothing, bro. But when I saw Stephanie, we was down in Danville, Virginia, in the cut in the old school biker event, and she had a box of those shirts. I said, give me a shirt. Matter of fact, give me 2. Man, I picked up a shirt, and I knew that it was something good if I went in my pocket. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? It's not just a magazine, but what it's doing, it's influencing riders. You're creating some form. I wouldn't say peer pressure, but the exposure was kind of like, you know what is Get Yonder? I want to be able to say that, and you see how it kind of took off, and just like I said, you don't hear it as much as you used to, but when it was at its peak, that was Southern Fall Ride. There you go. That's
right. Southern Fall Ride. Yeah.
With Sonia Justice and that whole crew. But when it took off, man, it just influenced people to get out there and ride. And even for those cats that wasn't really into it, they wanted to be able to say, I got yonder. So they would, you seen people that wasn't even about that life that started to get there because they wanted that privilege of saying that. Then if you got acknowledged by the magazine, I remember I got an email saying, hey, we're gonna acknowledge you. And I'm like, oh man, I was excited. I'm like, Get Yonder. I'm like, okay. I said, I'm doing something, and I'm humble. I'm normally off. You talk to me, my reference is always I'm off the grid. I kind of move, I move different.
Right.
And it was nice to see that, you know what? Okay, like I'm part of this little cult.
Yeah.
But it was, but things like that helped propel where we are today. And you think about if we didn't have the impact of social media and these magazines, like what would the riding look like today for the average biker?
Oh, wow.
Because you won't be able to share that scoot down to the next state. There won't be as much motivation for you to start that bike and go from Jersey to Florida or across country because there's nobody for you to share it with. So the mentality about riding may have been slightly different if we didn't have these whole platforms, and these influence levels. So I'm glad that, magazines like Get Yonder and these different trends, have that positive impact on the community. So Stephanie, my lit up to you over and over, no doubt about
definitely,
that.
The up at the very top up there, it says talk miles or say nothing. I like that.
Man, that was it, man. That was it, man. I don't know who came up with that slogan, man, but that slogan became like the theme, man. Talk miles or say nothing. I don't know if it came from the West Coast, the East Coast, but
but it says everything. It says everything,
man.
It says everything, bro.
It goes with the theme of the book. Get Yonder. Talk miles. It's nothing else. You're not talking about, the partying. You're not talking about the events. You're talking about the ride, the experience of the ride.
Yeah.
And the miles that you put on your 2 wheels. Get it, man. Talk miles or say nothing.
I love it, man. I love it. I love it.
So you have to realize this is one of the projectiles of the advancement of riding right here. This is this. I think this started a lot of people on a whole new riding, experience. So Stephanie, when you hear this, you already know what it is.
I know, but we would definitely get her back on for her episode. Like I say right now, man, her father is not doing too well. So she's taking care of him. But I still just wanted to highlight her. But the Get Yonder magazine featured me in it. And I gotta give it a 10-gun salute, man. They really brought me on. I would like to thank Sharif Al-Sadiq for introducing me to Stephanie and oh man, look who we got on, y'all.
Yeah,
look who we got on, man. Come on,
man.
Come on, man. How can we not? Come on. Listen, folks. This gentleman right here, Hero Benson. If you can see that name right there, this is this gentleman right here that says Hero.
Right there.
Now, if you can't say that is not iconic, Hero, we love you. We absolutely love you, man.
Absolutely.
You are a true living legend. You are an encyclopedia to us. And I really wish you would come on the show, man, because people want to just hear your legacy. And I know you'll sit there and say, I was just with him. He's humble with it. He'll say, I was just there, Solo. And man, but you being there, a lot of us like myself wish I could have been there. Wish I could have been a part of that, because my riding, the way that my hat that I wear, I got it from Hero. Hero inspired me to say, wear what you want to wear. Be you. Man, I wear some 70 jeans, man, you think I'm a rock star, man, because it's
With the
I like
bell
to get down,
bottoms.
and it's bell bottom because it's functional when I'm riding.
Mhm.
The bell bottom open up, the wind come in, it keeps me cool. The crotch area is
Mhm.
probably your hottest, and it keeps me cool. So the thing is man, I that's kind of where I formulate myself as being a biker. I say I am a biker. I continue to dress like a biker. OG Weasel, you continue to dress like a biker. You see what I'm
Man,
saying? The
them boots
attire
is
that we wear,
disrespectful.
the
Yep,
influence that these magazines, these shows have influenced us, man.
absolutely. But you know what?
I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead,
I
brother. I'm
think
here
we
all night.
influenced them. I think we influenced the television stuff. I
Oh
think we
yeah.
influenced that.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Go.
because where else are you going to find that kind of authenticity, that rawness, but anywhere but from a true person who don't care about what anybody think. I want to wear this. It's comfortable. Like it or not, I'm a biker. What you got to say? Don't step to
Right.
me. I'm going yonder.
But but you know the good thing about this whole thing, man, that I love the most is that you got different types of bikers. You got the enthusiasts that don't know they're an enthusiast, and you got the biker, then you got the brother that's the mix. And not to classify the difference between the two, man, but those elements, man, they all make up they make up the setting, they make up what we love, and it makes up the experience that we have. I love when we would be in a protocol group and people would take it personal. You would break stuff down, and there's nothing worse than the truth. When you hear a brother really break it down for you, you hear the truth, and you find out that you're not really that dude because you're standing next to that dude. It makes you second guess yourself, and it's not even about that. What it's about is that you have to understand who you are as a biker. And it's not. I mean, I don't think it's important to the next person, but that's it for yourself to understand. I'm in the community. This is my place. I think we all have a purpose, and when we move, your movements are impacting the next person, because when you're in that environment, everything works in accord with itself. And my thing is you just got to be genuine, because I see a lot of people making a lot of movements that's not really who they are. They're doing things that's biker related, but it's kind of like they're taking it to the extreme. My daughter says they're doing the mostest. You putting on one chain is fine.
They're doing the mostest.
They're doing the mostest, bro. And it's just like, for example, you got one dude, you got one chain. One chain is all right. You don't need 19 chains hanging down, bro. You're gonna hurt somebody with that. So my thing is, it's okay to be regular and just blend in. That's why I like to sit in the back and just watch. Sometimes I say the circus, and sometimes I say the show.
Right.
Because they're both entertaining. But either way, at the end of the day, we all bikers. And I think back about going back to like the 2000s or the 90s or probably the late 80s, how it used to be. And when the community wasn't as saturated as it was today, that when you had outlaws where you were scared to, talk to an outlaw, it wasn't even heard of that you would approach an outlaw. It was just like, if you see him, you would walk the other way. So I think that over time, we have progressed. We got very comfortable in what we do. But at the same time, we lost knowledge and we lost touch with a lot of things. And one part of that, I would say, is the outlaw culture. We got people that's over there that really, just need to enjoy the lifestyle on the other side and just enjoy it for what it is, because everything that you see is not always what it presents itself to be. And my point is that it's okay to be regular. It's okay just to be a biker. You don't even need to be in a club. You can be a hardcore biker, and you can come out and you can do the partying and doing the rides and have the fellowship and get the same enjoyment. The patch doesn't change your experience.
Right.
It just creates association.
Okay. Nelson, I'm changing that setting, man. Thank you very much. Please, if you want to super chat with me. Folks, everything that you donate to the channel, everything that you gift us, it's going to try to make this thing better, man. And I'm gonna try to get more of these episodes right here on to kind of highlight history, right along with my historic riders, my unsung riders, and then also during trip talk. So listen, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, man. Let's boost this channel, man, because I want to be able to bring credible content creators, past history creators like OG Weasel and DJ FX and some other ones out there too, man. I would like to get big enough that people sit there and say, hey, I want to go on KSolo podcast, man, because he's putting it down true honesty, man. And that's what I want to do, man. Hey, I want to thank a couple of people.
That's what I love about your show. And I just want to, it's not a shameless plug. I'm proud to say it. I love your show because it's authentic.
Right.
It's real, it's raw, and you're doing it from the depths, I believe, the depths of your heart. And because you do that, that's why people are drawn to, I believe people are drawn to it because of that. Your experience, your passion for it, and being authentic, just being you, not changing who you are because you have a podcast. No, you the same brother that I met at the Kingdom Nights event. You the same brother that I met when you was on my show. You the same brother. I don't care where, if I see you on somebody else's thing, you the same.
I'm the same, man. So I can't change, man. I just am. I am who I am, man. That's all. I am who I am.
Right.
And that's I'm square like that, man. OG Weezer, I'm square like that,
man. Literally, right?
Literally.
Yeah, literally. All right.
I know, right? Oh, man.
It ain't for everybody.
I know, right? Hey, Maylin, thank you for joining us tonight. Much love to Maylin. Bruce William, thank you for joining us. Big Pun, thank you for joining us. Big Pun, I definitely want to get you on the show, man. Hero, I know these comments are coming in late. Ask Weasel about what West Coast devil win. Write that down, OG Weasel, because we're gonna talk about it, man. We're gonna talk about it. Oh my goodness, I love it, man. I love this. Thank you very much, Nelson. I appreciate that, man. Much love. See Ruger, congrats to everybody, man. Folks, you just don't know how much it means to have you coming on tonight and sharing this with me. To have these two gentlemen on. I'm known for bringing on unsung writers, but to have these gentlemen on to share some of their legacies, what they've been through, what they've seen, the changes in the culture, because you guys have seen changes in the culture, wouldn't you say?
I've seen.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. 10, 20, 30 years.
The changes I've seen from seeing a whole bunch of bikers ride together. It died off for a while. But now it's making a comeback, doing it again, a group ride. So that I love. I've seen the changes on that. I've seen the changes where, again, you got more female riders out there. Big shout out to Shaquila, Mileage Bully.
Oh yeah.
Big shout out to her. Big shout out to all female riders that are putting in the miles and grounding up their road. Yeah, those are changes I've seen. Those are changes.
Okay.
It's also not about so much of the partying, but more just collaboration and fellowship.
Right. Now, like I said, we're talking about magazines, but I want to shift focus. I want to shift focus to some of the talk radio shows. I know my man Tone Tea Time, OG Weezer. I think you guys co-hosted together, correct?
Yeah. Like I said, if you want to hear the raw, old school, straight biker talk, like pull your panties up and go to www. All Riders Radio. There's episodes out there.
Yeah.
And like I said, you just sometimes you gotta suck it up and just embrace the realness. But there's a lot of knowledge out there, a lot of straight talk, and that's what it was. I mean, back then. We had Two Guns with us, and Baby Boy from out west. So just a lot of brothers, and you have Crazy G from up north. It was just a lot of thorough brothers that was on that show, and it was just like, listen, if you don't like it, it's the lifestyle, it's the culture, and it's just take it as it is. You don't have to modify and have your own version of what it is. Let me say this real quick, because going back to the effects point. He was talking about some of the changes, right? I remember we were sitting in church about 20 years ago, probably 20 plus years ago. And I'm sitting there, the president was talking, and somebody, asked for the floor, and they gave him the floor. It's like, yo, we need a PRO. And I'm sitting there like, yo,
that
I'm
caught
like, yo,
that caught
yeah. So I'm like, yo, what's I'm like, what's that, bro? I'm tapping my man, like maybe I missed something because I was out last week, you know. And just thinking back about these are part of the changes that just happened over time. How we just started expanding on something that didn't need expansion. You know, like riding is riding. No matter which way you do it, we still ride the same way we rode 20, 30, 40 years ago in some cases, you know, but so the basis of what we do is the same. It's just how we approach it has changed. But just to watch the evolution of you know, of the clubs and the people that's been attracted to it. You know, you got some hardcore bikers that was just riding beforehand that came to the culture and they contributed. Then you had people that would have never ridden bikes, never thought about it. You know, you see them riding, you're like, why are you riding? You know, like, and to the point that they can't ride, they'll get something with 5 wheels just to be part of the culture. You know, so it's kind of like, and that's just part of the progression. This is why we're seeing these new types of bikes and all the changes. And it ain't nothing wrong with it, but this is just part of the progression. But for me, you know, to sit back over the years and decades and really, you know, don't let the, you know, don't just, I don't have nothing like we, that's all right. I got years in. Don't worry about it. Okay? I don't need all that. Okay. All right. So I got time in. All right.
Hey, but, little mama, he talking like he old.
No, listen, man. I got time in the saddle, man. It is what it is. No, but just to sit back and really over the decades, just see the evolution of the set. And like you had mentioned, the embracement of the females and the co-ed clubs and all that stuff is all good. But, you know, growth is always good and change is good, but the right growth and the right change. And I think that's at individuals, you have to decide what's constructive in you and what you bring to the set and what you're doing. And, you know, just in terms of what you support when it comes to biking. You know, you got a lot of bike stuff that's going on. That's not really bike stuff. I mean, we've all been to events that have nothing to do with biking. You get there, they selling pennies and cakes. I'm like, listen, I want to buy a scarf or something, bro. Like, I want to buy a vest. And like, so we got to try to, in order to preserve the culture the way it is, we got to keep it I say everything biker. Now I have a lot of little cliches that I use, but everything biker, that part right there. Who's that, Solo?
That's Shaquilla Boosie.
Oh, Shaquilla. Okay, yeah.
Shaquilla. My shout out to her, Miles Bully. I've been highlighting her. A lot of people have been highlighting her for her efforts, what she got going on. Shout out to you, my Titan sister. It ain't over till you get home. I know you've been out in Texas. I know you was just out there fishing. Much love to you. Continue doing and much blessings sent your way. But it's not. Sometimes I sit there and I say, man, I wish we as males could come together and form and unite like the females. Anything. It's no jealousy, it's no envy, it's no lead on the table, it's mine bigger than yours. It's us getting together, man, and sitting there saying, we're gonna do this. The females doing it, we can do it. We can do it, bro. Let's get together. Put the egos aside. I always preach this right here. Let's take it back to the days when we go to the racetrack, just like that picture. Your club bring a bike, your club bring a bike, your club bring a bike. And we all on the racetrack. We all on the freaking racetrack. And we sitting there watching these bikes go down. We side stand betting. We having a good time. And everybody having a freaking good time.
Good time.
Man, it sounds like a camp outfit to Rockingham.
I pay for that. I pay $25, $30, $40. I pay $50 ticket to go and attend something like that, man. Because I would sit there and walk around with, I'll be like you, man. I walk around with my cut off sleeve, my open vest, that my belly show, man.
Yo, stop playing, man.
Folks are sitting there talking about, man, Solo walking around with his belly hanging out, man. Good Lord. Hey, thank everybody for coming in, the comments. And if you got questions, shoot them down in the comments. We love to answer your questions. We're enjoying this tonight. I have my special guest OG Weasel on with me out of Jersey, Brick City, and I have my man DJ Effects on with me, my go-to guy, man, for all my audios and visuals
from the DMV.
But you
DMV.
You barely
no matter what
today,
you
bro.
ride, you get the same road rash on 80 miles per hour. You got that right, hero. Yes, sir, you do, man. So that's why I always say I don't care what you ride. I've had my doors blown off my HD by a gold wing, and I sit there and salute the guy coming by, listen to his music jamming, and it just blew me out the water. So it don't matter what you ride to me. But gentlemen, Go
the
ahead.
nicest thing of this, I'm sorry, the nicest thing about this, I'm just looking at all these names, you know, going up and down the list and who
Yeah.
I've met and bros
Yeah.
that I know and bros like yourself and Effects and everybody else. And this is all because of biking. These are bros
Yeah.
I would have never had the experience of,
Think
just
about it. Yeah.
fellowshipping with. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. Like I'm looking right now, my man MJ. Me and this brother talk every day, man. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
never met this brother. if
MJ
it
gonna be
wasn't
coming
for-
on the podcast,
that's,
man.
that's, that's
MJ
my
getting
man.
slot to come on. Yes,
ski,
sir.
To ski,
Love it.
yeah, man. That's
Yes,
Boston
sir.
right there. But
Yes, sir, man.
but the thing is, people like Swell and everybody else, and I see Hero and everybody. It's like these are brothers that I've talked to, and some that like Hero, for example, good example. Hero, I'll never forget it, bro. How when I needed somebody, and we was on the road, and we had some challenges. We was out there, we was in the desert, and phone calls got made, and connections got made. And let me tell you something. When it was all said and done, we was good.
Yes.
It was good. And these are brothers, man, just straight up phone calls. Yo, my man is coming from Jersey, and this is what's going on. And the end result was we ended up in Vegas, man. And when I say open doors, man, all the hospitality that you can get that would have never happened if I wasn't in this community. So we got to really, embrace this. Even like yourself, man. We was at the event 2 months. I think the OC was 2 months ago, bro.
Yeah.
And all the partying is going on and turning up. And Solo and I, we just huddled up. Like I took a lot of your time. It was like an hour and a half, man. It was like an hour and a half. I know he was like, don't shut up. But,
no. I was engaging with you, but I was happy to see you. Man, we ain't seen each other in a minute, man.
Yeah, we was toe to toe, knee to knee for a long
time.
And it was just like, but it was all, like I said, when you got brothers that you meet and you share this common thing, that conversation is when it's pure. And you really live this, man. When you see bros, like it's just like the conversation is liquid and it doesn't end.
Right.
And that's when you know that you're genuine about what we do.
Yes. Nelson Leaf, man. Love you, man. Appreciate that support. Hey, I'm gonna transition over right quick, guys. We talk about magazines. We talk about how our culture is being preserved. Now, you got to say you got Block Talk. Block Talk come on every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. We share the same time slots. It's just different audiences. My man, Real Deal, we chopped it up. There's no issues with it. Real Deal, Honey Dip, Scoop, my brother T, Communicator, and Smooth G. They have been doing Block Talk now for probably the past 10 years. Always great topics, always great conversation, always engaging. They're always in talking about other sets here, other sets there, unification, supporting, right way, wrong way, what may fly over here, don't fly over here. To me, Block Talk travel with me, and I got a lot of good information and knowledge from this program. Are you familiar with it? Have you followed it?
I am. I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
I remember just before I started launching MC Love, because now, thinking back, Block Talk was one of the ones I used to listen to. Kind of wild and crazy, but it was they were real about what they were talking about.
Yeah, they're real with it.
The lifestyle. And it was more, and it was a lifestyle. It wasn't a hobby or anything like that. They kept it real. From what I can remember, the few times that I did listen to them, I didn't listen to them a lot, but the few times I did,
right. Yeah, definitely, man. Low key says you have to earn the right to ask an OG question. Say hi whenever you see them. Follow the chain of command to get access. Ask to be introduced to them. Yes, low key, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Block Talk, I will say a Real Deal is very pure and genuine about his agenda with this show. And he really cares about the community. I know Scoop and these guys, man, they really just want to pass on, good information and just kind of keep an open gateway for the community to come out and kind of share their thoughts. So it's good to see stuff like that.
Interested in a lot of shock jock stuff right now. They want news. They want something that's kind of like, who's suffering? Is somebody else suffering more than me? Or kind of like, okay, where are we at with it? So for me, I like to keep it positive, man. I want it to be positive. I want to be information. Each one teach one. I want to be an inspiration to people. I look at Retro Show. Retro will come on and he'll give you a spiritual bit. Then he'll give you a riding bit, man. And he'll keep you engaged and want to get you to ride. DJ FX, I shout out to you, man, in your program, man. I sit there and say, when I thought about doing this, I looked at a couple of other podcasters out there getting it in, and yours was one of them that I sit there and say, okay, let's see how he does. Let's see how he flow with it, man. And shout out to you, sir, because like I say, you pioneer some of this that's going on right now. OG Weasel pioneered some of this. A lot of people that's out there have influenced our age, our generation of Biker Boys. 2003, the film came out. You know what I'm saying? Who remember Biker Boys? Some of these cats right now, you tell them, what about Biker Boy? What are you talking about, man? What is that, a video game? Am I lying, gentlemen? Would you not say that some riders out there right now would probably say, Biker Boys, is that a video game? Where did I get that console at?
Right. Is it on PlayStation? Is it on Xbox?
But we got to give our man Dragon a little love too,
Yeah. I don't take that. We're gonna talk about him. We're gonna talk about him. But I'm saying though, that time of 2003, you see what I'm saying? Now, since you brought that up about Black Dragon, because we were going to talk about him too, because there are certain platforms that's been around for a while. Now, Black Dragon platform has been around for a minute. He has been writing protocol. He has been talking protocol. He's an iconic figure in the culture. I would say he is. And truth be told, he's still getting it in and still being effective with probably, I think he has 30,000 subscribers on his channel. He's a heavyweight with it, man. And my hat off to him. He's another one that I looked at and that I would sit there and say pioneered this podcast and this information wave of culture that's going on right now. And an early influencer, as you would say.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what was crazy, right? I remember Foxy reached out to me like back in, I think it was 2017. And she's like, yo, I want you to be the the main speaker at the Proc, and I think it was Baltimore, right? And I was like, yeah, whatever. I said, who else is going to be in the panel? And she went through the panel. And she's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right. And she said, Black Dragon. I'm like, whoa. I mean, you talking about the dude that write all the books? I'm like, yo, I can't be the keynote. That dude's going to be on here, man. So, and I heard about, I didn't meet him at that time, but I heard about the brother. And I'm like, yo, how am I going to talk behind Black Dragon, Mr. 80 book / the protocol god of the moment, man? It was hard, but when I got to the brother, man, and we hugged necks and everything else, and we just sat down, it was just crazy, because when you got this common interest, of biking, and you understand the real, you get vibes from brothers. You can tell when somebody's generic, and we were just vibing, and it was just nice to see that, you can have that dialogue, and brothers, that you get to see that same passion. It was like, and since then, it's like all love. And like I said, and every time he needed help with that show, and he needed, backside support on something, I gave them to him, because once again, like brothers like yourself, man, you got to support the agenda. When you reached out to me, bro, I don't care what I was doing. When you reached out to me and you told me what the deal was, yo, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, bro. It's not even a question, man.
I knew the topic. I knew we would love the topic, man. That I loved the topic. It was there, man. It was there, man.
Yeah.
On the topic of Black Dragon, when I was seeking out guests, Black Dragon was one of the first ones I wanted to be a guest on my show, and we just never got that to manifest. But big shout out to him and his podcast.
Yes.
Because he's doing it. Like he look like he's got his own little studio going on, and he's keeping it 100. So big shout out to him and his endeavors.
Yeah. And here's where we're at now with this right here. And I'll talk about other influencers as well. Shout out to Big Sarge. He's definitely getting in what he got going on. I want to give him a shout out too. But you will have groups, and I say this about groups. The groups that you are in, you should be able to get something positive out of that group. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to sit at the table and get fed something good that's going to be nourishing to you. If you're in a group and you're not getting anything informational out of it, it's not inspiring you to want to go, do, see, be better, do better, act better, live better, then why be a part of it, man? Well, a big part of it.
Absolutely.
Now, I got to send a shout out to Big Dog, Boldest Rider MC. He started Harley Talk, and he'll have dialogue come in, and it's just another platform. And I'm highlighting platforms, man. I there's no shame in the game. I got respect for everybody, and kind of sit there and say, well, okay, we're going to go there and we're going to talk about this today, or we want to go ahead and post this in there today. And I tell you, man, the groups that you are in, let it be nourishing to you. Let it feed you. Would you agree, gentlemen?
Yep. Let it feed you.
To walk away from a couple, when the energy changed, they had to walk away. It's like, you know what, enough of that. When it's not good, it's like, when you got all you can get out of a group, that means that either you have elevated yourself.
There you go.
Or it ain't nothing happening.
There you go. There you go.
MacGyver,
man. Thank you, MacGyver, for coming in with us tonight, man. He said, I talk to Black Dragon at least once a week. He has helped me a lot in this MC culture. Outstanding. And that's what it should be all about, man. That's what it should be all about. For this podcast here, I tend to stay away from the politics of it because, platforms cover that. I mainly want to handle the writing because that's just been my thing. That writing lifestyle for me has been it. And the way that I dress, my professionalism as a biker, the way that I carry myself. Like I say, you walk through doors, OG Weasel, and I walk through doors that some people just will not get an opportunity to walk through.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because we live the lifestyle, man. And I got to ask you this question. How did you come up with that term, bike life? Because I remember, if you remember, man, everything was bike life, man.
Man.
What was that, man?
It's like a way of saying
you got to school us with it, man.
Nah, you know how it is, man. These little things, you'd be in the road and something crazy happened and you can't say what you want to say. So you got to mask it. So it was like bike life. That was the safest thing to say, man. Like, let's just keep it right there, right? So.
Yeah, indeed, gentlemen. Indeed.
So when y'all hear that, y'all know where it's really coming from. Everything starts somewhere. Everything starts somewhere. Yeah.
That's right, man. I love it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Riding with KSolo podcast, man. This has been great dialogue. We touched on the surface of a huge mountain. That's all we did. We walked up to the base of Mount Everest. We could go on and on and on with it. Shout out to Highway Dre. Thank you for tuning in with us, man. Sarge, you know it, man. And I'm gonna address Sarge's platform as well. Iron Elite podcast, man, with Big Sarge, your host, Big Sarge. He's doing that I-10 to the end thing, man, and he is inspired a lot of people. Sarge, I think you over 300 people now. Is he over 300? I don't know your exact number with the Iron Elite.
You need that.
But it's you can see the energy. You can see people motivated. They're happy. Even if they're in other clubs, they're getting out riding and they're happy to be doing it. You know what I mean? And I think that's a lot of time that people will join a club and they don't get that fulfillment of the ride party in. They get the partying in, they get the clubhouse stuff in, but they don't get that feeling that they want of riding.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna leave that on the table. I'm gonna leave that on the table.
Ooh-wee.
I'm gonna leave that on the table.
Yeah, but one thing, so you touched on something earlier.
Make me cry a little bit.
Oh, yeah. But one thing I would like to see, and you touched on it earlier, Solo, if the brothers can do one event. We did something like that about 10 years ago. And it actually ended up being another group. It was Two Wheels and One Love. And we said, you know what? We're going to get some heads together and we're going to ride in fellowship. And we did a long ride from Jersey down to Raleigh, North Carolina, to the Hog Pen before they shut that situation down. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole weekend of fellowship. And bikers came from different locations. And it wasn't about the patch on your back. It wasn't no nonsense. So to my point, it would be good to see the brothers. You know what I'm saying? If anybody really want to think about this and we want to try to put something together, I think a few of us need to get together and say, you know what? It's time. It's time for the bros to forget about the other interests that we know a lot have when it comes to being out in the set. And let's just do some bro stuff. Let's just do a bro weekend. It don't need to be a camp out thing, but I'm talking about some straight fellowship. Even if you could take the rags off.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. The way that we do it. No, hold on. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm proposing, right? And if somebody really want to put this together, I'm proposing that we do something. The central location is Rockingham, North Carolina racetrack, right there.
There it is, right there.
Right there. All the elements of biking, right to the right. If you want to camp, it's right there.
Roundup back
Yo,
in
right-
Hey,
right
what
there,
did my
bro.
what did my man do at the pier? He threw the hat up. I'm throwing that
Yeah.
hat up.
Nah, but on some real stuff, man, that would be a good look if we can really get some brothers together and just come. And if we want to do a little speaking and whatever it is, so and it doesn't take that much.
Right.
Because let me tell you, so I always say this. I said there's 50 top players on a set. If
Mhm.
I gave you a pen, I said name the top 50 names that keep circulating. You're gonna sit there and you could probably get about 10, but it's about 50 brothers that can really make some big things happen. So maybe maybe we need to talk about this. And we get some heavy hitters and say, you know what, this is what we're going to do. We're going to create some unity within the community and just kind of get us together. Because not for nothing, these females is doing it. They showing us up. They came into our lifestyle and robbed us.
Oh yeah.
And they doing it. They got you. I'm there. If I see another female
man.
ride, female ride, New York, South New York, East New York. I'm like, but you know what? It's a lot going on. I'm like, that's enough. That's enough. But you know what? You got to applaud them because they coming together.
Yeah.
No matter how many it is, they coming together, man. We haven't done one event.
We haven't done one male unity event.
It's a sad day. That's my saying too. It's a sad day, bro.
It's a sad day.
Yeah.
If there's any heavyweights that may be listening to this, man, if there's a shot caller out there, think about this, man. Get us back on the track. Get us back where we clubs are building track bikes, where we getting out competition, where we can sit there and go at some racetrack, man, have the burn barrels going and everybody have their own little compound and having a good time. F the drama, F the shooting, F the knifing, F the fighting.
One weekend,
bro.
One weekend.
Biker love. MC love.
So when you're putting it together, so when you gonna endorse this, man? Listen, we get 10 bros on this, man. 10 bros from across the states, man, and we just set it up, and it is what it is. We just make you do what it do.
Hey, man,
all bros, no other interest, because you know what happens, man. There's some brothers won't come out. If that other interest isn't there, brothers ain't coming.
If that other interest ain't there, man, they just not interested. If the meow ain't there, they just not interested, man. I can't talk like that, man. But the thing is, I'm just saying, man, think about it, gentlemen. Think about it.
Absolutely.
Bros, your club put together a race bike. I remember what was his name out of Gentleman MC. I'm sure he's still up there right now riding. Gaddafi. I remember Gaddafi used to walk around, used to be just slaughtering people with those Road Kings he had, man. You have my man out of Rare Breed, Titan. God almighty, I can't think of this right now. I'm having a brain fart. Be walking around busting heads, man. We get back on the track and sit there and say, bring your track bike. Bring your track back out. Set up. Bring your RVs out. Where's your compound at? And not let it be so much about everybody wanting to pocket money. Let's just sit there and say we come together, we fellowshipping, and try to get that old bike culture back into play, man. Because if not, we're gonna lose it. Some of these kids young cats don't even remember a time where the meetup would be the track to race.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. So
and
I'm gonna bring up my MB5, man. I'm gonna go back and find my old MB5.
Hey, like I'm getting build a little sports or something, man. But we all over the place tonight, folks, and that's what it's all about. She Rides Moto isn't until May 2026. And the 250 tickets have sold out.
Oh man, that's another female event. No, we doing the pros. We trying to do the pros. That's a good look.
Snowman, thank you, Sarge. Yes, indeed, Snowman, man. I'm telling you, man. I remember Phoenix City, Alabama, man. Tukey and the boys down there, we used to get together. Big T, even T from Blockburner, he had a ZX14. He used to get out there and cut. But the thing is, man, we get back to some of those old school things that we used to do, to live in that biker lifestyle, and walk around with no shirt on, with your vest on, you know what I'm saying? Live that lifestyle, man. And have the burn barrels going and put up a tent or something like that, man. I get invited a lot of times to these new chopper guys. Chopper guys invite me all the time. And they said, man, come out to the event, man. They'll be beside some river creek somewhere like that with tents up. And some people say, I don't camp, I don't take, I need a 5-star hotel. Okay.
It ain't for everybody. Yeah, yeah.
For everybody,
It is what it is, man. Yeah,
bike light. We gotta start that back up now. Bike light.
Yeah, man.
Bike light. Oh man. Who we got here,
You
man?
were talking about going
We
back
winning
to
up this most.
preserving
Yes, we are.
preserving the MC, preserving the culture and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
You know, I think this is a good way. What we're doing right here, right now, bringing something to somebody's attention who's watching, who can possibly make those moves, make those adjustments, make those phone calls, make those, just put things in motion, make it manifest. Preserving this moment. This is going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to pick it up and make it happen.
Yeah,
I see.
I believe if Tim, here we go.
The only thing I say is let me get my 3%, man. Let me get my 3% finder's fee, man.
Yo, 10 good bros, man. 10 good bros can pull it together. That's it, man.
I'm just messing. Hero says back in the day, every West Coast club had a track bike. Yes, you did. As a matter of fact, who is it? East Bay Dragons still got their track bike sitting in their clubhouse. I got a picture with it. Oh, gentlemen, I've enjoyed myself tonight. Like I say, man, we're at the base of Mount Everest. No
Sherpers. You know, everybody don't know about that.
But I know, right? No Sherpers, man. Each man got to carry their own load, man. Bring your own oxygen, man. Baby. You got to climb this mountain yourself. But definitely want to just sit there and say, man, it's been a pleasure to have you gentlemen on with me tonight. I went back and looked at and read some of these old articles, Outlaw Biker Magazine from 1985, man, volume 1, them 98 pages, man. Wow. Biker Lifestyle, November 1986, man. You know, you got to think about it, man. These magazines was being shipped to Canada, UK, Finland, all around the world, talking about the bike life, the culture, about MCing, man. And, you know, riding is part of it. I think right now I got 3 SME subject matter expert on right now that can attest to the bike life, to the bike culture. And we all bring our own points of views to this right here. And that's what we try to do tonight, folks, is just kind of highlight some of it, address some of it, make a plea to the higher echelon, the power to be, to sit there and say, start working to kind of unify the set, to kind of get us back. The females are on board. The females got all female everything, all females to the moon. Males, we can do things without having a meow. Those are my sound effects right there amongst us, to the point where we can have a good time, bike lifing, being bikers, man. And riding our scoots and having a good time, because there's nothing in the world is going to an open field or somewhere, seeing a whole bunch of cuts, dust, and everything going around, getting dirty, and then getting back on your scoots and riding back home, man. And with that smell on you, with that feeling about you, you just got to sit there and say, man, you live in the lifestyle. Gentlemen, would you agree?
Absolutely. Just one thing, man. I'm looking back, and I was thinking back, we spoke about the old, biker magazines and things like that. And if you look at it, there wasn't too much color out back in the days in these publications, So when we see, publications like Get Yonder and everything else, we need to support our own. We need to build our own catalog, so to speak, so that we can look back 20 years from now and have something to reference. I mean, we're looking at these faces, but they're not our faces in most cases. Nothing wrong with it. Right. It just means that we just haven't developed our own library to refer back to, and it's nothing like looking back at something that you can appreciate.
That's correct.
That you can relate to. I know I would I would look at the old like motorcyclist magazines and Iron Horse back in the days and all that stuff, and I appreciated it, but it was just like you want that common ground, that it takes it to a different level. It makes it personal, and when it's personal, you tend to want to know more about it. You're more engaged in what you know and what you're reading. It kind of has a different purpose to you.
DJ Effects, can you hear me?
That's the part when y'all respond. Yeah.
Yeah. DJ Effects.
Yes, sir.
Your response.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much piggybacking on what Weasel said, what OG said. It's about just making it, like I said, making it personal, making it part of your own, make it something that you want to say that you had your footprint or your fingerprint, your digital print in this. You had your say in this. You had your opportunity to make a change in somebody else's life. You had opportunity to build, or as Solo, your tag phrase, to inspire, to aspire, to inspire. You know,
Yes.
To my tag is to burn rubber, not your soul. Yes, it's part of the biker boy thing, but for me, it's a deeper meaning to it. Making it personal to build something that others who are behind you can either pick it up and move on and build and continue to build with it. You know, this MC thing, it hasn't died. It's not going to die. It's just a matter of being able to put it back on track in the way that it used to be.
But it's not even just the MC thing, it's the culture in general. You know, I mean, everything starts with you as a biker, then it gravitates, you know, and it builds to the MC point. But just in general, I mean, the thing is, I would just say be conscious of what you do or how you present yourself as a biker, you know, because every person has an influence and you're a representation of what the next person loves.
Okay.
Yep.
My man Moose sent me this. Yes, Moose. Like I say, man, there was a time where these magazines were lying on home just like Ebony and Jet, man. If you was fortunate enough to still have a collection of those, you know, look back at the names, look at the attire they're wearing, you know, look at the bikes they're wearing, how the bikes were dressed. You know, our culture, our history is rich in the culture. It is rich. Don't let it fade. Don't forget about it. Don't be afraid. If you got a clubhouse, if you got a man cave, put pictures of other riders that's inspirational to the culture. It's not just you, your legacy, but some of these other riders have influenced the culture that we live in, man, and that we're riding in. But gentlemen, I got to get ready to wrap this thing up. It's been great. I'm going to just go around the horn one more time. If there's anything that you would like to leave the audience tonight, and maybe we might want to come back and who knows, you may get some questions behind the scene and we may want to come back a couple of weeks down the road and say, well, let's address it again. We may address it again. Who knows? Who knows? Collaborations, working forward in a positive manner. We've reactivated the Weasel. aka OG Weasel. We reactivated him.
Oh man,
he had to go in the man cave and blow the dust off of his microphone. You should have seen him when he like
yo, I've been off the grid, bro. Been off the grid, man. Let the next generation step up, bro.
Yeah, man. I thank you for coming on with me tonight, man.
So
true honor and pleasure to have you on. So MC Love.
Yes, sir.
Last word.
Well, thanks. Thank you for this opportunity, man. It's always an honor, and I just say that for all those who are doing this, just remember, there's somebody's life is being changed. You're forging a path to greatness and somebody else's greatness. The culture needs you. The set needs you. The lifestyle needs you. Be out there. Be heard, be seen. Do you. Be authentic. Be real.
Oh, man, I love that. I love that. Be authentic, man. Be authentic. OG Weasel.
I guess the only thing I could say is just like myself, I would say one time a year, take a moment to assess what you have accomplished and done in the last year. Your riding, your growth in the community, your growth as a biker. And if you're doing the same thing you were doing last year, you haven't grown. So this is about growth and embracing the culture as it is. So that's all I got, man. I can't even add nothing to that, bro. You just got to live it. You just got to live it, man.
Oh, man.
Hero!
I know, right?
Thank you, bro. Thank you for your contribution, man. Listen, you make acknowledge that, man. Listen, man.
Yeah, man.
That's well learned, man. You ain't got to do nothing. Just the fact that you said you was just there.
Right.
People don't get that. You ain't got to be doing something every time. Sometimes
Right.
you're just there. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And what
you're
he's
just there.
as a result of him being there, look what he brought to us. These
on,
pictures, man, like
Come
they're
on, man.
priceless. It means that you know what,
Priceless.
and what that says is that this is what we were doing. You know, this is where
Right.
we were at. Brothers
Right.
was doing this years ago. See, y'all
Right.
got to see the bigger picture of this, man. You can't just be surface with it. You got to dig down and get into the guts of this to really understand what's happening around you. Hero.
Bike
light.
All right, bike light, man. Oh my God, we're gonna have fun. Hey man, we just love this, man. We just love this. Folks, hey man, I gotta do this one more time, man. Hero, we love you, man.
Yeah,
we
man.
love you, Hero.
Yeah.
My lid off to you, bro.
Yeah, man, we love you.
Yo,
and hopefully, man, hopefully I can get enough people to sign this petition to get Hero Benson to come on my show. Because Hero say he don't do shows, man.
Bring the mask, man. Bring the mask.
I know, bring the mask and everything. But listen, I hope and pray to God that he be at our Reef and KSolo official Ride to Eat in Little Rock, Arkansas this year, folks. He's been at the Ride to Eat for the past 2 years. If you want to come meet a true iconic living legend, Hero Benson, hopefully he'll be there. Hero, give us a thumbs up if you're gonna be there at the Ride to Eat. It's the first weekend in October. Go look at on Facebook. We have a Facebook group page where you can get all the information, the hotels, and then we'll be posting the itinerary up. Typically we have about 300 people that'll show up at the event. I think we had 300 plus bikes rolling when we was in Texas. I think last year we had about 270. So it's always a great turnout. And we'd love to have you there at the official Reef and KSolo Ride to Eat event in Little Rock, Arkansas. Man, I got comments still coming in. I know, right? I know, man. I know.
That's why you're famous. That's why you're
look at it. Look at him, man. Look at him, man.
Coming out.
Right, man. The ground pounders coming in, man. Oh my goodness, man. Mr. Green, how we doing out there in Colorado? Oh my goodness. I want to say shout out to everybody. Thank you for tuning in tonight, man. This has been awesome. Sarge, this has been the best show he's seen tonight, man. Thank you, Big Sarge. But before I go, gentlemen, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Because we 22 minutes already past my time. And I know, right?
Yeah, I got to take my medication too, bro.
I know, right? Christina Park. Oh yeah. Come on, man. Listen.
My tattoo's about to fade off, man. Hurry up, bro.
All right, gentlemen. I'm kicking y'all out of here. All right, till next time. All right, gentlemen. All right. Oh man, I love it, man. I love it. I'm trying to get off, folks, and it's like we just keep going with it. We just keep going with it. This is all that you've done coming on tonight. Your words of wisdom, sir. We greatly appreciate it and we love you. This is what it's all about. This is why I enjoy doing this. It's not about me. It's about trying to be an inspiration to as many as I can. Aspire to inspire, be legendary is my motto. That's what I live by. I'm no big bad outlaw biker anymore, but the thing is that my lifestyle has been great. I've lived it and done the best that I can and could with it. I want to send my prayers out to Stephanie. Like I say, her father's not at the best right now. So he was supposed to be on her episode, kind of highlight Get Yonder magazine. I had everything queued up. That's okay. We're going to get her back on for her episode because she has been a positive influence with Get Yonder magazine. Talk Miles will say nothing. So listen, folks. It's been great. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the donations. Everybody that's subscribed to the channel. I'm trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. Please tell a friend, share. We're trying to get YouTube to start broadcasting and get us out there a little more. Our SEO needs to increase so that we can reach a broader audience. Shout out to everybody that we mentioned tonight. All the material that was used out of good content, education, informational purposes only. We're not looking to capitalize on anybody else's hard work. So look, y'all have a good night. And remember, Try to inspire. Be legendary.